Coach Austin Mays, Camden Fairview, Cardinal. Playing right field, wearing number 2, Rison. Third baseman, number 21. The shortstop, number 4, Jack Jeffers. Second baseman, number 7, Elijah Scanley. First baseman, number 8, Drew Bosty. Catching for the Cardinals, number 12, Daniel Chambers. On the mound for Camden Fairview, wearing number 9, Michael Betts. The DH, number 25, Peyton Schroeder. And the rest of the Camden Fairview Cardinals. Assistant coach, Jeffrey Neal. Volunteer assistant, Todd Schroeder. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join me in the national anthem. It's time for some Cardinal baseball. Our umpires tonight, John Dawson, James Johnson, and Brett Beard. Sutherland.
All right, Camden Fairview Cardinal baseball. First pitch coming from Michael Betts on the mound for the Cardinals, facing Rison, and that pitch swung and fouled back. Batter for the Rison Wildcats is number 16, the catcher Sutherland. Michael Betts got his sign, and here's the kick delivery there, and that's in for a strike. 0-2 now to Sutherland, and Michael Betts ahead in the count here on the first batter of the evening. Betts with the sign. He is going to kick, and here's the delivery, and that ball is hit off the end of the bat, and it's going to be fair ball. Stayed fair long enough to let Sutherland make it down to first base, and they're on with first base runner of the evening.
Number 7, the pitcher, Matheson.
Defensive setup for the Cardinals: Drew Bostic at first, Elijah Scantling at second, Jack Jeffis at shortstop, Jackson Wilson over at third, and Daniel Chambers behind the plate. And that pitch high and inside from Betts, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes to the pitcher, Matheson. Left field has got Moorhead in it tonight. Center field with Brody Dow, and right field Mari Utsi. Here comes the delivery, and that one is in for a strike. Ball bounces away from the catcher Daniel Chambers, and base runner moves down to second base. Rison with a runner in scoring position here early in the ball game. All right, here comes the pitch from Betts as he checks the runner. Here's the delivery, and that's outside, and again to the backstop, and that's going to move the runner down to third base. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs, and Rison threatening now with a runner in scoring position at third base. And that pitch is swung and hit into left field. It's going to get foul. Zach Moorhead tried to run it down, couldn't quite get there, and Matheson's going to have another shot at it here. One ball, 2 strike count, no outs. Rison with a runner at third base. Michael Betts with the kick and delivery. Big sweeping curve, swing and a miss, and that's the first out of the inning, first strikeout of the night from Michael Betts. 1 down.
Batter, the shortstop, number 4, Weaver.
The shortstop for the Rison Wildcats, number 4, Weaver, to the plate now. 1 away here early in the top of the first inning from George Branch Field. Camden Fairview Cardinals versus the Rison Wildcats. And Betts steps off, no throw over to third. And that ball hit off the handle of the bat, and it's going to be fielded by the third baseman. Throw over to first in time, gets the out, but it does bring a run home for the Wildcats.
Out away, that doesn't hurt.
Number 13, first baseman, Edwards.
C.J. Edwards to the plate now for Rison, who wears number 13, plays first base. Michael Betts trying to get this out here and bring the Cardinals to the plate. That pitch just a little outside the zone, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Edwards. And that pitch on the outside edge of the plate, and the count now 1 ball and 1 strike. Here comes the pitch from Michael Betts, swing and a miss, and the count now 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 away. Camden Fairview trying to get out of the inning here with only 1 run allowed. And here comes the pitch from Michael Betts, and outside, trying to give Edwards something to chase there. He laid off of it. The count is now 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Rison leading it early 1-0. And here comes a pitch from Betts, and that one's fouled off over towards the third base dugout. And the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. All right, Michael Betts with the delivery, and that ball just a little high, and he did not check his swing and goes down on strikes. So Rison gets 1 aboard, leave none, no hits in the inning, and they're going to be up 1-0 as the Cardinals come up here in the bottom half of the first inning. All right, Zach Moorhead hit by the pitch. We're going to take a break with him here just for a second. All right, Zach Moorhead hit by the pitch, and he's going to come out of the ball game. Going to have a courtesy runner for Moorhead. Going to be number 11, Rodney Frazier, in to run for Zach Moorhead.
At the plate for Camden Fairview, the shortstop, number 4, Jack Jeffa.
Jack Jeffus now the batter for the Cardinals. And pitch outside, ball one to Jack Jeffus. A 1 ball, no strikes, no outs. Rodney Frazier at first for the Cardinals. And that pitch high and inside, and that's going to be a snap throw down to first. Frazier back to the bag in time. He has got to get dirty on that one. 2 balls, no strikes, the count to Jack Jeffus, the Cardinal shortstop. Here comes the pitch, and that one's inside. Rodney Frazier has a stolen base. All right, 3 balls, no strikes. Cardinals with a runner in scoring position with Rodney Frazier out at second base. In for Zach Moorhead, who was hit in the hand by the pitch. And that pitch low and away, and Jack Jeffus is going to get the walk on 4 pitches. Brings right fielder Jamari Utsey to the plate for Camden Fairview.
Right fielder, number 2, Jamari Utsey.
No outs, bottom of the first inning. Rison with 1 across in the top of the inning. And Camden Fairview trying to even it up here with a chance to go ahead early here in the first inning. First pitch to Mariuzzi outside for ball 1. And the Pitcher checking his base in. He brings it home. Mariuzzi hits that one high to center field, and it's going to die out there in center field. But Rodney Frazier tags up, goes to third with a long fly ball to center field. And here lately, those long fly balls out there tend to die. But gets a runner over to third base.
The batter, number 25, Peyton Schroeder.
DH Peyton Schroeder to the plate now for the Cardinals. One away. Cardinals with runners at the corners. Jack Jeffers diving in back to first base ahead of the throw from the pitcher Matheson. Schroeder with a chance to get an RBI here and get some runs on the board. That throw down, and that throw's over. They threw it, cut it off at second, and then threw back to third. Over through the bag, and that's going to bring Rodney Frazier home to score, and Jack Jeffers moves down to third base. So the Cardinals capitalize on some throwing errors there by the Rison Wildcats and tie the ball game here in the bottom of the first with one out. Here comes the pitch. Peyton chases one high in the zone there, and the count is no balls and one strike. Here comes the pitch. Peyton taps that one. It's going to be a slow roller back to the pitcher's mound, and here comes the throw home, and he's in there safe. He gets in under the tag. Nice job. All right, this brings Drew Bostic to the plate. Drew starting over at first base tonight for the Cardinals. Base is empty, 2 outs. And that pitch on the outside edge of the plate for strike one. Schroeder out at first, but drives the run home. And the Cardinals up now 2-1. Drew Bostic trying to keep things going here in the inning. That pitch up in the zone. Counts even at 1 ball and 1 strike. And that pitch low and away in the zone, and the count goes to 2-1 to the first baseman, Drew Bostic. I don't know. And that pitch outside, and the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike.
Batter number 8, Drew Bostic.
3-1 count. Hitters count here. Let's see what got to be the right pitch. And that one fouled off. Full count now. Drew Bostic trying to keep things rolling here in the bottom of the first inning for the Cardinals. They're up 2-1. 3-2 count. And that one way outside, and Drew Bostic draws the walk, and that's going to keep things going for the Cardinals. Elijah Scantling to the plate now.
Now batting number 7, second baseman Elijah Scantling.
2 away in the inning. Drew Bostic down at first for the Cardinals. Here comes the pitch from Matheson. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it up and back out of play. No balls, 1 strike to Scantling. Matheson looks back at first. He comes set. And here's the delivery, and that one's going to be away from the catcher in the dirt. Drew Bostic going to be into second base standing up. And on the wild pitch, Cardinals move another run into scoring position. One ball, 1 strike, 2 away. Cardinals with a runner at second base. They lead it 2-1 here in the bottom of the second inning. And that one inside, Elijah hits that one hard down the third base line. That's going to be extra bases. Drew Bostic coming around third. He is coming to home, and Elijah Scantling with a stand-up RBI double by Elijah Scantling. Brody Dow now to the plate for the Cardinals. First pitch to Dow up in the zone. He takes a big cut at it and goes in the hole 0-1.
Let's go, Brody.
Those high in the zone pitches always hard to lay off of. They look good coming down the pipe like that. And that one going to be low in the zone. He comes back with a fastball, and this time it's down below the knees. That evens the count to 1-1. 3-1 lead for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the first inning. George Branch Field, Camden, Arkansas. Cardinals versus the Rison Wildcats. And that one going to be up in the zone as well. 2 balls and 1 strike. All right, Matheson with his sign. He comes set. And here comes the delivery, and that one's going to be hit off the end of the bat over the second base, fielded, and the throw in time to get Dow for the third out of the inning. But not before the Cardinals bring 3 across the plate and take the lead here in the bottom of the first, 3-1. We're headed to the top of the second. Center fielder number 23, Terry, leading it off for Rison here. Top of the second inning, Michael Betts delivers, swings first pitch. That's popped up into shallow right field, and Mariuzzi under it for the catch and out number one. Second baseman number 8, Billings, to the plate for the Rison Wildcats. One pitch, one out. Here comes the kick and the delivery, and that's in. Swings first pitch, that's another one, but that is going to be foul over Mariuzzi, running it down just not quite there in time, and that's just a long strike. The count is no balls and one strike to the Rison second baseman, number 8, Billings. And Michael Betts with his sign. And the delivery. And up in the zone, a little high and tight, and runs the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. And that pitch hit, and that's going to be fielded by Jack Jeffers deep. And Drew Bostic stretches for the catch. And out number 2. Nice little pitch and catch there between Jack Jefferson and Drew Bostic for out number 2. All right, 2 away. Brings left fielder Barnes to the plate for Rison. And that is in for a strike. Looping curveball finds the inside part of the plate there. And Betts up 0-1 on Barnes. Michael with the sign. Here is his kick in. Here it comes straight down the pipe. Swings through it. And Barnes in the hole, 0-2 to Michael Betts. And no balls, 2 strikes, 2 away here in the top of the second inning. Cardinals leading the Rison Wildcats 3-1. And the pitch from Michael Betts, and that one is fouled back. Drop third strike and picks it up, throws down, and gets the out. So up 1, 2, 3. Cardinals set the Wildcats down in order. Remains 3-1. Camden Fairview on the way to the plate. All right, leading off the bottom of the second inning for the Cardinals, Jackson Wilson, the third baseman for the Cardinals. That pitch high in the zone. And the count to Jackson Wilson, 1 ball and no strikes. Camden Fairview leading the Rison Wildcats 3-1 here to start the bottom of the second inning. Here comes the pitch and swung and fouled back. Evens the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. A 1-1 count. Jackson Wilson stands in. Matheson kicks and delivers, and that pitch a little inside, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. That one finds the outside edge of the plate. Now, I was about to call it a ball, but I'm not the umpire. 2-2 is the count to Jackson Wilson. Camden Fairview with a 3-1 lead. Jackson leading it off for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the second inning. And that one, a looping off-speed pitch right down the middle. Jackson swings right under it, and that is strike number 3. Daniel Chambers now to the plate. That ball in for strike. Catches the outside edge of the plate. And that pitch again is a little outside, and the count now to Daniel Chambers, 1 ball and 1 strike. And that one on the outside edge of the plate, and Daniel Chambers watches strike 3. And Rodney Frazier to the plate, swings on the first pitch, fouls it off with Zach Moorhead having to leave the game. They rearranged the lineup there just a little bit on me. So trying to get things in order here on my paperwork. No balls, 1 strike to Rodney Frazier. And swings through that one for strike number 2. So Frazier in the hole 0-2 now. Jack Jeffers to follow. And Rodney hits that one foul down the first base line. Staying alive here. Trying to keep things going for the Cardinals here in their half of the second inning. They lead it 3-1. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, and that's high and away. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Rodney Frazier. All right, Frazier with 2 on him. He's got to be in protect mode here. Anything close, and that one's in the dirt, bounces off the glove of the catcher over towards the Camden Fairview dugout, and that evens the count up 2 balls and 2 strikes. Camden Fairview leading the Rison Wildcats here 3-1, bottom of the second inning, 2 away. 2-2 pitch on the way from the Rison pitcher Matheson. And that is inside and runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. To the objection of the Rison Wildcat fans, but the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. This is the payoff pitch. And here's the pitch, and that one's fouled off. Rodney Frazier staying alive here. The Bee Gees are playing in Rodney Frazier's head here. He's trying to keep it going for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And here comes the pitch, and Frazier hits that one. Pops it up in the air. It is going to go just on the foul line, caught by the first baseman there for the Rison Wildcats, and that ends the inning for the Cardinals. Nobody left, no runs across, and the score is 3-1. Camden Fairview going. All right, top of the 3rd inning. Leading off for the Rison Wildcats is their DH, number 9, Johnson. Michael Betts still on the bump for the Cardinals. And he kicks and delivers that ball just outside the line. And that is ball 1 to Johnson. And hits that one off the tip of the bat, fielded by Michael Betts. He underhands it over to Drew Bostic for out number 1. And the right fielder for Rison up now, number 1, Walker. And Michael Betts peering over the glove. He's got the sign. He is going to kick. Here comes the delivery, and that one straight down the pipe, fouled back into the fence, and totally messed up my camera. So we will fix that here in just a second. But right now you've got a great view. Here comes the pitch from Betts, swing and a miss on the curveball. And Walker down 0-2 now. All right, we'll fix that a little better here in just a minute. 0-2 pitch now coming from Michael Betts in for strike three, and he watches it. And that's two down in the third for the Rison Wildcats. Sutherland back around for the Wildcats. He is their leadoff man. Sutherland got on board with a little dribbler down the first base line in the first inning. That pitch just outside for ball one. One ball, no strikes, two away. We're in the top of the third inning. Cardinals leading it 3-1. Here comes that pitch. He fouls that one over on the first base side, and Sutherland in the hole, 0-2. Two away. Camden Fairview trying to send them up, three down again in this inning. And here comes Betts with the delivery. That one just outside. Not going to give him anything to hit on that count. A one ball, two strike count. And that curveball just misses the inside corner of the plate. And apparently I was watching a different game. The count is 3 balls and 1 strike. I was trying to give him 2 strikes. 3-1 count, 2 away. Here comes the 3-1 pitch from Michael Betts. That is down the pipe. And Sutherland kicking himself for not swinging at that one. Counts full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Payoff pitch is coming from Michael Betts. Michael Betts kicks. Here comes the delivery, and that ball hit up the middle. Jack Jeffers over to field it and throw over to Drew Bostic in time, and that is it. 3 up, 3 down for the Wildcats here in the top of the third. Camden Fairview leading 3-1. All right, Jack Jeffers leading off the bottom of the third inning for the Cardinals. They're leading the Rison Wildcats 3-1 here from George Branch Field in Camden, Arkansas. New pitcher for the Wildcats, C.J. Edwards. Left-handed pitcher wearing number 13, and that second pitch from Edwards. And Jack Jeffers hits that one up the middle. That's going to be into center field for a base hit single to start off the third inning for the Cardinals. Mariuzzi to the plate for the Cardinals. All right, Jack Jeffers at first base for Mariuzzi. Jack takes off, throw goes down, and it is going to be wide of second base on the second base side. Jack Jeffers in with a stolen base. No balls, one strike to count to Mariuzzi. And Jefferson scoring position for the Cardinals here. And Mariuzzi hits that one past the first baseman on into right field. Jack Jeffers coming home, and he's going to score. And Mariuzzi goes on down to second base. So Mariuzzi with an RBI single and takes second base on the throw. And the Cardinals go up 4-1 here in the the bottom of the third inning.
The batter, number 25, Peyton Schroeder.
Peyton Schroeder steps in for the Cardinals. He grounded out, but got an RBI in the first inning. He hits this one into center field, and he is going to have a stand-up double and an RBI on this one. Brings Drew Bostic to the plate. Drew drew a walk in the first inning.
Now batting first baseman, Drew Bostic.
Drew came around to score in the inning. Cardinals up now 5-1. And Peyton Schroeder down on second base. Drew Bostic trying to swap places with him. Drew taps one back to the pitcher. That ball is going to get past the first baseman. Drew Bostic makes the turn to second. Peyton Schroeder is going to come around and score. And on the little dribbler, Drew's going to make it down to second base on the, I believe that's going to be an error on the throw or the catch one, but it's an RBI nonetheless. All right, Elijah Scantling up now for the Cardinals. No outs. We're in the bottom of the third. Camden Fairview leading at 6-1 now over the Rison Wildcats. And Elijah takes that one into left field. And Drew Bostic going to be in at third. Elijah Scantling moves Drew around with a single to left field. And the Cardinals keeping things going here in the third inning.
Now batting number 10, Brody Dow.
Brody Dow steps to the plate for the Cardinals. (6-1) lead for the Cardinals here, bottom of the third inning, versus the Rison Wildcats here. Home opener for the Cardinals. And that pitch outside, and And catcher throws. I couldn't see what happened. Look. Okay, Elijah Scantling out at second. A 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Brody Dow. 1 away now for the Cardinals. And Brody Dow hits that one foul down the third base line. I didn't see exactly what took place there down at second base. But nonetheless out at second, so that leaves Drew Bostic at third. Brody Dow at the plate. He hits that one high in the air out towards center field. Drew Bostic going to tag up, and here comes the throw home. Drew Bostic slides in, and he is safe at home. So sacrifice fly ball out to center field for Brody Dow. Gets an RBI, and
standing on the base. He started at third. He was standing on the base.
that hit by Jackson Wilson out into left field. And that keeps it going for the Cardinals. Base hit there by Jackson Wilson. Keeping things going for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the inning. They lead it 7-1. In to Chambers for strike one. Jackson Wilson at first base. Here comes the pitch. Daniel Chambers swings at that one. Fielded by the third baseman and kicked. And in time, Daniel Chambers makes it to first. Ball past the first baseman. That moves Jackson Wilson around, and Daniel Chambers standing up at second base. Daniel Chambers moving Jackson Wilson around to third, and the Cardinals keeping it rolling here with 2 outs in the bottom of the third inning. Rodney Frazier now back up to the plate.
Now courtesy running for the catcher, number 15, Aiden Evans.
Aiden Evans in to courtesy run for the catcher. All right, 2 away here. Runners at second and third for the Cardinals. 7-1 is the score. And that pitch a little low in the zone. And the count 1 ball and no strikes to Rodney Frazier. And that pitch finds the strike zone on the outside corner right at the hands. And the count even up at 1 ball and 1 strike to Rodney Frazier. The 1-1 pitch, and that one's inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 away. Camden Fairview leading Rison here 7-1 in the bottom of the third inning of the Cardinal home opener from George Branch Field, Camden, Arkansas. And Rodney swings through that one for strike number 2. Hey, base hit here is going to score another Cardinal run. And Rodney, he hits that one down third base line, but on the foul side of the bag. If he paints that one down the other side of the bag, that's going to be one or two runs for the Cardinals there. All right, the 2-2 pitch on the way to Rodney Frazier. He swings, fouls it again, staying alive in the count. Over, bounces off the pole on the third base. Rison dugout. Two balls, two strikes, two outs here. Cardinals with two men aboard. Let's see if Rodney Frazier can hit a double. Here comes the pitch, and Rodney swings through that one, strikes out. For the last out of the inning, Camden Fairview going to leave a couple aboard, but they get four across in this half of the inning, and they go up 7-1 here in the ball game. All right, leading off the top of the fourth inning, Matheson, and that pitch, curveball from Michael Betts. Nice job. Daniel Chambers slid over, kept it in front of him. 1 ball, no strikes to Matheson. The 1-0 pitch on the way from Michael Betts. That's inside. 2-0 count. 7-1 ball game. Camden Fairview leading here in the top of the fourth inning. And that pitch hit high in the air, center field, shallow. Brody Dow in for the catch and the out. The shortstop, number 4, Weaver, to the plate. One away for Rison here in their half of the 4th inning. And that pitch on the outside edge. That ball had some movement on it there. It looked like a slider coming in there from Michael Betts, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. And time called. Weaver back in the box. Michael Betts. And here comes the kick and the delivery, and swings through that one, and Betts ahead 0-2 now. Michael looking good after bouncing back from a illness over the weekend. He's got it figured out here in the 4th inning. And Betts coming to the plate. That pitch in for a strike, and Weaver watches strike 3 for the first strikeout of the inning, and that's 2 away here in the top of the 4th.
Now batting the pitcher, number 13, Edwards.
That's 5 strikeouts in the game for Michael Betts tonight. I don't believe he's walked a batter, so that's 5 strikeouts, no walks to this point from Michael Betts. He's looking good out there on the mound this evening. C.J. Edwards at the plate. He moved over to the pitcher's mound last inning, and that pitch a little low and inside, and ball 1 to Edwards. Michael Betts peering over that ball glove. Here he comes to the plate with the pitch. And that one hit off the end of the bat to third base, fielded by Jackson Wilson. The throw over to first in time, and that's 3 up, 3 down for the Wildcats here in the top half of the 4th inning. Camden Fairview still on top, 7-1 as we go to the bottom half of the 4th. All right, Jack Jeff is going to lead off the bottom of the 4th inning for the Cardinals. Cardinals trying to add to the run count here in the ball game.
Now batting the shortstop, Jack Jeffers.
7-1, Cardinals leading the Rison Wildcats here from George Branch Field, opening home game for the Cardinals. And that pitch in for a strike. And that pitch misses, and the count is 1-1 strike. 1-1 pitch on the way. That one's going to be just a little high. Above the letters. And the count now 2-1 strike. 3-1 count. I was watching a different game, I guess. 3-1 strike, and that one misses as well. And Jack Jeffers with a free trip down to first base.
Batting for Camden Fairview, number 2,
Mariuzzi to the plate. And Jack Jeffers going to go down to second base on the missed throwing error over to tried to pick off move over at first, and he gets by the first baseman, bounces over to the right side fence, and Jack Jeffers is going to move over to third base on the throwing error. So Cardinals 90 feet away from another run. Mariuzzi just needs to put it in play, and that'll score another run for the Cardinals. 7-1, Cardinals lead. Mariuzzi hits that one hard into right field, and that's going to be a base hit and an RBI for Mariuzzi. Eight 1 your score now for Peyton Schroeder. Peyton with a couple of RBIs on the evening.
25, Peyton Schroeder.
And Peyton stands in. Here comes the pitch. That's outside. Gets past the catcher to the backstop. Mariuzzi down to second base. Round second. Pulls up. He's going to walk back to the bag. And Mari on the wild pitch moves down to second base. 1 ball, no strikes to Peyton Schroeder. And Peyton hits that one's going to bounce past the first baseman. Glove into right field. Peyton's going to be safe at first base. Mariuzzi standing up at second. Peyton Schroeder going to slide in to second on the throw down to home plate. And Peyton moves on down to second on the hit into right field. Another RBI for Schroeder. Drew Bostic to the plate now. Drew looking to get things going here. No outs. Schroeder on second for the Cardinals. 9-1 is your score. And Drew hits that one hard into center field. Well, it snagged by the shortstop. That ball was hit like a rocket, and the shortstop over near the bag, and he catches it for the first out of the inning.
Elijah Stanley, the second baseman.
Nothing you can do about that. Hard hit baseball. Shortstop did his job. And Elijah Scanley swings at the first pitch, fouls it up. It's going to be over in foul territory and caught by the third baseman over there. And just like that, 2 down for the Cardinals.
Step into it, drive it. On drive, base hit.
Now batting for Camden Fairview, number 10, Brody Dow.
All right, 2 away for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Peyton Schroeder down on second base. He drove a run in. Cardinals lead it now 9-1. And that pitch in for a strike, and the count's even at 1-1 strike. Bottom of the fourth inning here, George Branch Field. Cardinals opening up the season at home tonight. They were on the road last night for the opening game in Monticello. Dropped that game to Monticello, looking to get back in the win column tonight. Brody Dow fouls that one back, and the count is even at 1-1. And Brody Dow, 1-2 strikes. I'm sorry. Brody Dow reaches down, picks that one up. He's going to put that one out into left field. Schroeder going to go down to third, and Brody Dow moves Schroeder around with a single.
Batter number 21, Jackson Wilson.
All right, Jackson Wilson back up. He's got a hit over into left field, his last at bat. See if he can keep that going. Runners at the corner, swings at the first pitch, fouls it back into the fence. And no balls and 1 strike to the Cardinal third baseman, Jackson Wilson. 9-1 Cardinal lead here in the bottom of the fourth. And there's the pitch. Wilson swings through that fastball, and he is in the hole 0-2. And that one's going to be hit into left field. Fair, just foul. Just foul ball. That one rolls all the way to the fence. That would have been a couple of more Cardinal runs there.
I like it, Jack. I like it.
Just on the line. 0-2 count. Jackson Wilson gets to come back and try it again. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Cardinals with runners at the corners. They lead at 9-1 here. And he hits that one. Going to ground ball to the shortstop. Fielded throw over. And it is caught. Nice dig by the first baseman. Cardinals leave 2 stranded. They get 2 across. We're headed into the top of the 5th inning. Cardinals leading it 9-1. Three. All right, number 23, Terry, the center fielder, leading it off here in the top of the 5th inning for Rison. Camden Fairview up 9-1. A 1 ball, no strikes. Michael Betts still on the bump for the Cardinals. Drew Bostic now behind the plate and swings through and misses, evens the count up, but to 1-1. Aiden Zimmerman moves over to first base, and the rest of your Cardinal lineup on the defensive end stays the same. 1-1 pitch on the way from Michael Betts. That ball just a little low, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. And that one outside hair there. Three balls, 1 strike. Camden Fairview leading the Rison Wildcats 9-1 here in the the top of the 5th inning. And throws that one by him. Big swing and a miss. And the count now is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch on the way from Michael Betts. And going to be hit. Jack Jeffers over to field it. And the throw in the dirt. Wow, nice dig there by Aiden Zimmerman. And they get the out. Nice 6-3 put out there by the Cardinals. And that brings Billingsley, the second baseman, wearing number 8, to the plate. He grounded out to Jack Jeffers, his last at bat. And Betts with that delivery, big swing and a miss. No balls, 1 strike, 1 away. Cardinals lead at 9-1 here, top of the 5th inning. From George Branch Field here in Camden, Arkansas, curveball just missed outside, runs the count even, 1 ball and 1 strike. All right, here comes the 1-1 pitch from Michael Betts. And big swing and a miss, and Betts ahead now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Michael Betts looking good for his first appearance of the year. That one just low and away. No walks in the game for Michael. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts so far through 4 1/3. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And here comes the pitch. That curveball punches him out. Watches that. And nice pitch there by Betts for the 6th strikeout of the evening. Number 6, the left fielder. No, I'm sorry. That's number 10. We've had a substitution here. Howard is going to 2 away here in the Rison half of the 5th inning. Michael Betts putting in some work. That pitch in for a strike. Nice job there. That pitch catching the outside edge of the plate. And no balls and 1 strike to Howard. Michael's got his sign. That one off the handle of the bat into center field. Brody Dow under it for the catch. 3 up, 3 down. And the Cardinals go to the bottom half of the 5th inning, leading it All right, Aiden Zimmerman to the plate for the Cardinals here. Bottom of the fifth inning, Camden Fairview leading at 9-1. Zimmerman squares to bunt, lays it down. Nice hard bunt, fielded by the pitcher. Not in time. Zimmerman safe at first. Nice job there. All right, Aiden Zimmerman standing on first base. Laid the bunt down. Nice job there by Zimmerman. And Rodney Frazier to the plate now.
Batter, Rod Frazier.
Rodney Frazier coming in for Zach Moorhead, who was taken out, hit by a pitch in the first inning. And that pitch down the middle for a strike. And runner goes, and throw's going to be wide, and Aiden Zimmerman safe at second base with the stolen base. That puts a Cardinal runner in scoring position here. 2 balls and 1 strike. No outs here in the Cardinal half of the fifth inning. 9-1 the score. Cardinals ahead here in the game. Here comes the pitch, and Rodney off the fist over towards third base. The throw in time, and the put out there gets out number 1. Jack Jeffers to the plate for the Cardinals. Jack with 2 walks and a hit here in the game tonight. The runner at third is Aiden Zimmerman. And Jack hits that one into right field, and it's going to be caught. Runner tags, and he is on his way home, and the sacrifice fly scores run number 10 for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Marietzi to the plate. Mari with a couple of RBIs in the game. 2 away. Cardinals have put another run on the board. And Mari fouls that one back to the fence. And no balls, 1 strike, the count. To Utsi, Peyton Schroeder to follow. Drew Bostic would be after that if Mari can get aboard here. And that pitch outside and low. Mari lays off of it, runs the count to 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. And that pitch low in the zone, and the count now 3 balls and a strike to Marietzi. Cardinals leading at 10-1. The JV game to follow here after the conclusion of this varsity game. And that one outside, Marietzi with the free trip down to first base. Peyton Schroeder now Peyton with an RBI each time he's come to the plate tonight, trying to extend that streak.
Batter number 25, Peyton Schroeder.
All right, Schroeder stands in. Mariuzzi down at first base. Mari takes off. He's headed to second. That throw is going to be wide off the plate. Strike called, but Mariuzzi with the stolen base. No balls, one strike. Peyton Schroeder at the plate for the Cardinals. They lead it 10-1 here in the fifth. And throw going to be back. Runs Utzi back to second base in plenty of time. And again, they're going to throw back to second base. Utzi in head of the tag. 10-1 your score. Here we're in the fifth inning. Here comes a pitch to the plate. Schroeder fouls that one off. Count. And no balls and two strikes to Peyton Schroeder. Pitcher for the Wildcats comes set. He is going to deliver, and that one's going to be high and away. And the count now, a 1 ball and 2 strikes to Schroeder. Two away in the Cardinal half of the fifth inning. They lead it 10-1. Schroeder asks for time and gets it here. Pitcher paying a lot of attention to Utzi out at second base. And Schroeder said, hey, you've taken too long. A 1 ball, 2 strikes. And here comes the delivery. Schroeder taps that one out in front of him. Schroeder going to be out at first for out number 3. Cardinals leave one stranded. They get one across. We're headed to the top of the sixth inning. Cardinals lead it 10-1. George Branch Field for the Wildcats, number 9, the designated hitter Johnson. Cardinals leading it 10-1. Michael Betts still on the mound for the Cardinals, and that pitch just a bit outside. 1 ball, no strikes. And with the sign, Michael Betts going to kick, deliver, big swing, evens the count up 1-1 to Johnson. A 1-1 count. Here comes the delivery from Betts, and that one just a little outside. 2 balls and a strike. Ten to 1, Cardinals lead it here in the 6th inning. Michael Betts has gone the distance so far for the Cardinals, and big swing there, and the count even at 2-2 to Johnson. No walks issued on the night. 6 strikeouts this far for Michael Betts. And here comes the 2-2 pitch, and just a little outside, and runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three-two count. Betts looks in. He's got the sign he wants catcher set up. And here comes the pitch, and big swing and a miss, and that's strikeout number 6. And out is the call. Ball was dropped on the exchange, so no drop, 3rd strike, and that is the 6th strikeout of the evening for Michael Betts. Right fielder Walker to the plate for the Rison Wildcats. 1 away here in the top half of. And Betts with the kick and the delivery. That one outside. A 1 ball, no strikes. Betts with the kick and the delivery. That's in there. He's got that fastball working now. A 1 ball and a strike. 1 away. Top of the 6th inning, Camden Fairview Cardinals leading the Rison Wildcats 10-1. And that pitch just a little inside. And the count goes to 2 balls and a strike. Ten to 1 lead for the Cardinals, top of the 6th inning here from George Branch Field. And that pitch in for strike number 2, evens the count up 2 balls, 2 strikes. And here comes the kick delivery. Swings through that one. Strikeout number 7 for Betts on the night. That one fouled back into the fence. And no balls, one strike. Sutherland, your batter here in the top half of the sixth inning. Ten to 1, Cardinal lead. And Betts kicks, brings it home. Curveball stayed a little low. Nice job by Bostic to keep it out front, and the count is a 1-1 strike. And fouled that one off over first base dugout. And I was miscounting on those strikeouts for Michael Betts. That's 9 strikeouts for Betts on the night. No walks thus far. A 1-ball, 2-strike count, 2 outs. And that ball is going to be hit and going to be a base hit there by Sutherland. Hard hit baseball just past the outstretched glove of Jack Jefferson. That puts a runner aboard for the Wildcats here in the top of the sixth inning.
Number 7, Matheson.
Brings the pitcher, well, he's moved along from the pitcher's location now, but number 7, Matheson, is at the plate for the Wildcats. Here comes the pitch, curveball in. Drew Bostic snap throw back to first and in time, just barely beat the throw back. I like to pick him off down there at first base. A 1-ball, no strikes. Betts with the delivery. That pitch in on the edge of the plate. 1-ball, 1 strike, 2 away. Wildcats with a runner here. First runner they've had aboard in a couple of innings. Here is the kick delivery. That ball in for a strike, and the count is 1-ball, 2 strikes to Matheson. Two-way here in the inning. Cardinals leading it 10 to 1. A 1-2 count to Matheson, the batter for the Rison Wildcats. They've got a runner at first and popped up behind the plate, out of play, and the count remains 1-ball and 2 strikes. Michael Betts, here he comes to the plate, and that again fouled back. Matheson here staying alive in the at-bat. Count remains 1-ball, 2 strikes, 2 away. Sutherland down at first base for the Wildcats. Camden Fairview leads it 10 to 1 in the 6th inning. And Michael Betts with the sign. Here comes the delivery. Again, fouled back out of play. Wasting baseballs. That's what we're doing. A 1 ball, 2 strike count, 2 away. 10-1 Cardinal lead. Michael Betts has gone the distance thus far. 9 strikeouts and no walks issued. Here comes the pitch. Just outside. That's a hard pitch to lay off of with 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Here comes the pitch from Betts, and that ball hit into left field. Rodney Frazier up under it, catch for the 3rd out of the inning. The Wildcats going to leave one stranded. 1 hit, no one across. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th inning. Camden Fairview leading it 10-1. All right, bottom of the 6th inning coming up for the Cardinals. Drew Bostic, Elijah Scantling, Brody Dow due up in the inning. Jackson Wilson to follow if one of them can get aboard. And that first pitch to Bostic outside, ball 1. Camden Fairview leading it here in the bottom of the 6th inning, 10-1. And that pitch hit off the bat inside, jammed him up on his hands. Drew did all he could with it, and that brings Elijah Scantling to the plate. All right, Elijah Scantling at the plate. First pitch swings and misses for strike 1. And that pitch inside evens the count up, 1 ball, 1 strike. And that one inside. Elijah swings at that, fights it off, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cardinals with a 10-1 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Go, Elijah.
And that one hit third base, fielded over, and the put out. 5-3 put out there for the second out of the inning. Brody Dow now to the plate. Two away for the Cardinals here, bottom of the 6th inning. Brody Dow trying to get it started off for the Cardinals. That pitch a low and inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Brody Dow hits it hard past the third baseman. That's going to be a base hit into left field for Brody Dow. Jackson Wilson to the plate now for the Cardinals.
Now batting number 21, Jackson Wilson.
Let's go, Pumpkin.
All right, Cardinals trying to get a 2-out rally started here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Jackson Wilson at the plate. Brody Dow down at first base. And Brody takes off. That's a hit and run. That's going to be hit into right field. Brody Dow going to make the turn to third. And he's going to hold up, and that's going to put runners at the corners for the Cardinals here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning and a 10-1 lead.
Now batting for Camden Fairview, number 5,
Aiden Zimmerman now to the dish for the Cardinals. Pitch to Zimmerman in for strike number 1. Off-speed delivery there from the Wildcat pitcher. Cardinals need to get a run across here in the inning. Here comes the pitch, and that one's going to be low in the zone, evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Camden Fairview with a 10-1 lead, and they have runners at the corners. Brody Dow at third base, Jackson Wilson at first. Aiden Zimmerman at the plate for the Cardinals. Here comes the pitch. Aiden hits that one. It's going to be between the first baseman's legs. He picks it up, and nice hustle there by Aiden Zimmerman. That ball went right between the first baseman's legs. He kind of kicked it a little, and Aiden Zimmerman beats it out, and that's going to be the ball game. Camden Fairview with the 10-run limit.
Camden Fairview has defeated Rison
11-1 win, and what we didn't tell you, so we didn't jinx it, Michael Betts with 9 strikeouts, but that was a no-hitter for Michael Betts here in the game. So nice job there by Michael Betts this evening, coming back from being sick all weekend. 9 strikeouts, no walks, and a no-hitter on the night. Cardinals win it 11-1. We're going to leave the stream playing. We'll have a JV game, I believe, coming up after this.